out off of Southeast Main Street, there was a body that was found in the house, okay? We were able to say that it is Cat, okay? I'm so sorry for your loss, sir.
This is 28-year-old John Blauvelt, learning that his missing wife was discovered in an abandoned house, brutally murdered, surrounded by satanic markings. However, John had a disturbing secret he couldn't tell the interviewer that day.
I might put her down.
Using his military experience, he carried out a near-perfect murder that kept detectives one step behind for years. And by the time investigators began to narrow in on him, John was already long gone, living in a new state, in a new house, running away with his 17-year-old girlfriend, and seemingly getting away for good.
This defies any kind of logic that I have experienced in my 62 years on this earth.
We know more than you think we do.
What if I told you that your cell phone did ping somewhere other than where you say you were?
It's 2:15 p.m. on October 24th, 2016. 22-year-old Katie Blauvelt is captured on CCTV inside her workplace. Her shift is soon coming to an end, and she's planning to meet her mother at 3 p.m. that same day. She leaves, calls her mother, and takes a selfie, unaware it's the last photo she ever takes. Not long after, her phone pings a location for the last time, and Katie disappears without a trace. 5 hours passed by. It's now 7 p.m., and Katie never arrived for dinner with her mother. Worried, the mother and other family members try calling her multiple times, but her phone has no signal. At 7:48 p.m., Katie's mother reports her missing. Officers, friends, and family mobilize to look for her, and the search officially begins. But this left detectives with a critical 5-hour gap in the timeline, one they would spend months trying to piece together. 10 hours would go past without any clues about Katie's whereabouts. Then, at 12:33 a.m., the police receive an unexpected call. One of Katie's friends is on the line, claiming he's just found her body, dead, inside an abandoned house deep in a nearby forest.
Simpsonville 911, what's the location of your emergency?
I'm at Discover Church across in the woods.
You're at Discover Church across from where?
In the woods across from it. I was worried about my friend, Katie, and she went missing. She's been missing for a while now, and we came in this house that we used to hang out in, and she's not alive.
Quickly, medics and police rush to the address of an abandoned house deep in the woods. Upon arriving at the scene, officers notice multiple graffiti markings, including apparent satanic symbols. Soon after, they identify the caller as Wayne Roper, a friend of Katie who leads them into the basement of the abandoned house. There, officers find a large concrete box sealed with plywood. When they remove the cover, they're met with a horrifying sight. Katie's body lies inside, with a knife pierced through her neck and 16 stab wounds across her body. The lack of struggle and the state of her clothing, with her shirt pulled up and her lower clothes missing, suggested a sexually motivated killing. All of these details point detectives straight to Wayne as their first potential suspect. But what they don't realize is that this is exactly what the killer wants them to think. Every detail of the scene has been arranged to send them chasing the wrong lead. Without realizing it, detectives have walked straight into the killer's setup. As the night went on, forensics revealed chilling details. Katie's body had been dragged to the basement, and her phone was found submerged in water to destroy it. Wayne is detained and brought in for questioning. At the moment, detectives believe they have their killer, and they're ready to push for a confession.
Wayne, I'm sorry to keep you waiting, brother. Hey, buddy. What's your name, pal?
Franklin Wayne Roper.
I'm sorry?
Franklin Wayne Roper.
You're about Franklin or Wayne?
Think about reading.
At this point, Wayne believes he's been brought in to be questioned as a witness after the heartbreaking discovery, unaware that detectives are already convinced about his involvement in the murder and any statement he makes might be used against him.
I think you know why you're here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me how did you meet Katie? Just from the time you met her, kind of what your relationship was, and leading up until 11:30 or so last night. Okay.
I first met her, we were friends at first, and then we dated for like a month or so, and then that's whenever I moved to Liberty with my dad, and we stayed in contact for a little bit, and then once I left my dad's and went to North Carolina, we lost contact.
Detectives begin the interview by learning that Wayne and Katie were once together, but quickly, Wayne reveals something that would immediately put suspicion onto his name.
Maybe a year later, that Katie got married to John Waldo, and then one night she came and got with us with John. It was the first time I've seen her since I moved, and since then John offered me to move in with them, a roommate, and $200 a month. And I took it up. It was a good deal.
So you lived with her and her husband?
Yeah, it's weird. It was.
When was this? Do you remember when this was?
When I lived with them, it was before June this year.
As Wayne explains that he once dated Katie and later lived with her and her husband, detectives gain another reason to suspect him: jealousy. And just as everything appears to be moving in the perfect direction for the real killer and his carefully constructed plan, Wayne makes a claim that complicates the investigation and may just be enough to ruin the killer's plan.
Living there, everything like going okay, then they started having arguments because of me, because she used to talk about me before, and she told me that he was jealous of me, and their arguments started getting worse, and that was whenever he got drunk one night and he cussed her out, and he had her in the bathroom. They were just pretty much just screaming at each other, and then from there she ended up moving back with her mom, I think.
When did you and Katie, when you were living with John and Katie, were y'all being intimate with each other?
It was only once.
And John was there or not there?
It was like a threesome thing.
And how did that come about?
I was drunk and he was drunk, and it was her idea. Like after that, he changed.
If true, Wayne's claims about John's violent behavior could shift suspicion towards him. But despite Wayne's accusations, something still doesn't add up. His story, with its inconsistencies and gaps, keeps raising suspicions. Because prior to this interrogation, detectives learned that on the day of Katie's death, Wayne arrived late to work, and he admits to walking near the abandoned house around the time Katie disappeared. More importantly, while at work, Wayne was aware that Katie might be inside that very house. Yet despite that suspicion, he never alerted authorities. Instead, he waited until the end of the day, went there himself, and only then called the police. All of this places Wayne squarely in the crosshairs of investigators, and unknowingly pushes them further into the real killer's trap. Because in the next few doc.com/DrInsanity, or click the link in the description to find and instantly book a top-rated in-network doctor today. With that said, let's get back to Wayne's interview, where detectives are on the verge of pushing an innocent man into a murder confession.
Why didn't you call the police?
I didn't think of it at the time. I didn't.
Did you know she was dead?
No.
Why would you think the best idea is for you to walk into what turns out to be her final resting place, where somebody murdered her and dumped her down there like a piece of trash? You know why you didn't look in the bathroom?
We glanced in there with the flashlight. Like if you're standing at the door of it, you can see in there.
You can't see in the tub. I'm telling you, I was up there in the day. Cause she wasn't in the tub. This defies any kind of logic that I have experienced in my 62 years on this earth.
You look like you're gonna pass out.
This is too much.
I bet it is.
Get it off of you then.
I'm sure it is.
All you gotta do is lay it down. You lay the burden down, that's the only way you'll be forgiven. You gotta say, I messed up. Help me. That's what you gotta say. And I'll do it. But I'm not gonna do it on credit.
Detectives remained suspicious of Wayne, but with him sticking to his story and no hard evidence, they couldn't yet arrest him. Instead, they collected his DNA sample to compare with the DNA found underneath Katie's fingernails. But that's when, just a few hours after Wayne's interview, as police search the area around the abandoned house, they stumble upon Katie's car, only a few miles from the crime scene, left abandoned in a nearby parking lot. It looked as if she had left in a hurry, but the reason her car ended up there would remain one of the biggest mysteries for the following months. Up to this point, everything was going according to the killer's plan, one designed and carried out by Katie's own husband, John Blauvelt. But Wayne's comments about his jealousy pushed detectives to dig deeper. What they found was a restraining order filed months earlier, after John had allegedly pulled a gun on Katie when she refused to give him her phone. For the first time, despite his efforts, officers were seriously beginning to suspect John. So the next day, on October 26th, detectives approach him at his office on the military base where he works. Their goal is simple: hear his side of the story, verify his alibi for the day Katie died, and see how he reacts under pressure. For most perpetrators, this would be the moment everything starts to fall apart. But John isn't like the rest. He would play it perfectly.
Alright, well, they're out off of Southeast Main Street. There was a body that was found in the house, okay, an abandoned house. And at this point, we're able to say that it is Captain, okay? I'm so sorry for your loss, sir. At this time, we are investigating, and we would investigate every death the same way. We start with homicide and work our way from there, okay? What the restraining order deal? What's the deal with that?
That's because a charge back that I got back in February, domestic violence first degree.
Do you know if she had any issues with anybody? Anybody that wouldn't hurt her or anything like that?
No, and I know that she's been dating around, and you know, it's whatever, because I've been too. But
Notice how John intentionally directs detectives towards the fact that Katie is dating around. Him pointing this out isn't a coincidence. It's a strategy. By controlling the narrative this early, John is quietly planting a story that will protect him later.
Did you work this Monday?
Mm-hmm.
What time did you get off Monday?
Like 2:30ish, 2, I don't know.
Did you stop anywhere on the way home?
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this, why were you looking for Katie?
For Cheyenne. Cheyenne's destroyed right now, and I'm just trying to help her out.
Who do you know that would want to do harm to her?
Not nobody.
Do you know there's a guy that used to live with you, redheaded fella?
Redhead?
Yeah.
Wayne?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's his story?
Just regular dude. Good guy.
Friends with him.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do for the Army?
Well, right now I just sit in this office, small office right now. Because of the civil investigation, all of my recruiting duties have been suspended.
Are you familiar with this abandoned house?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the spot.
What's the
It's the
spot?
hangout spot. Am I being charged with a crime? Because he's recording me, and I'm not comfortable with that.
No.
And if I am, I'd like to contact a lawyer. Because this is uncomfortable.
Okay.
You're not being charged, okay, with a crime right now.
As the interview ends, John does something counterintuitive. He defends Wayne, the man he's secretly framing. It's a manipulation tactic known as reverse empathy. By showing compassion, he makes himself appear harmless and trustworthy. John's first interrogation had gone almost perfectly, leaving detectives with little they could use against him. Still, they couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. With no evidence to hold him, he was let go, and officers would turn to those closest to John and Katie, their friends and family, unaware that John had already influenced them. Detectives started with Crystal, Katie's best friend, and at the time, also John's roommate. John knew exactly what to expect here. In his interrogation, he had already planted the idea that Katie was dating around, and Crystal, being one of Katie's close friends, also knew about her dating habits. His hope was that she would unknowingly reinforce this misdirection, steering suspicion towards anyone but him.
Alright, October 28th, 2016, 4:47 p.m., Simpsonville Police Department. Like I said, all I ask is that you don't tell John you're up here. And he's not the only suspect. You know, there's other people we're talking to and questioning. So, has he made any statements about, if I go to jail for Katie's murder?
He's just, he said that, it sucks for him because he feels like he's gonna get in trouble for it. But, he's like, I didn't do this, I'm tired of people coming after me.
Right.
See, me and John actually really do get along. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie about him at all. I'm gonna tell you the straight up truth. If he's acting weird, I'm gonna tell you, but it wasn't. I was thinking last night about it. I really was. Just maybe a split second thought that it could have been John. But he's, ever since Katie's gone missing, he's made sure that there was more than one person around him. At the time that Katie died at 8 o'clock at night, all three of us were sitting in the living room. From 5 o'clock when he came back home till me and my boyfriend left for work the next morning, he was there.
Notice how Crystal mentions that John got home at 5 p.m. and stayed there the entire evening until morning. It's a detail that would later turn out to be part of John's manipulation.
So, if you had to take a guess at who killed her, what would you say?
I don't know because I heard a lot of things. And I know she had a Tinder, and I know that she was dating a lot of people from, Cheyenne telling me that she took a lot of people down in the house. I didn't even know the house existed.
What were John's feelings or thoughts toward Katie to you?
I know that he loved her. I know that he still does. He's mad because of what Katie is accusing. He held the gun up to my head and stuff like that. And just by the way she was talking, I knew she was lying. Because that's what she did. Me and her used to get each other in trouble all the time in high school. That's what she would do. She would lie,
Alright. I think we're done. Anything?
Just as John hoped, Crystal's account added fuel to the idea he had planted. By emphasizing Katie's dating life, she unknowingly fed into John's narrative, suggesting the threat may have come from someone she was seeing, maybe even Wayne. Next came Catherine, John's ex-wife and the mother of his child. He had already made sure she wouldn't say too much. Fear, and their shared child, would be enough to keep her quiet.
This is Investigator Hawkins.
Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you.
With you being married to him for 7 years, with the drinking, greed, and sober, has there been any violence between the two of you? Okay. I'm not here to go and arrest him for something that happened, 10 years ago or anything like that.
But I just don't want to go into anything that had to do with us, because that doesn't have anything to do with what happened between him and Katie.
It's not that you're incriminating yourself.
He's a good guy. I'm alive, gotcha, but I would assume I wouldn't be if he was that crazy.
Well, you never know. It only takes one time for somebody to snap.
No, but he's never snapped with me for some reason.
Plus, you two have a kid together, so.
Yeah, there's that.
Maybe that has something to do with it. All right, I'll give you a business card with my phone number on there.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much for coming up here. I appreciate it.
Catherine's silence kept John safe for now, but the final interview with Katie's niece, Cheyenne, would not go according to John's plan. Unlike Crystal or Catherine, she wouldn't protect him. Instead, she would point suspicion directly at John and reveal a motive that would tie everything together. For the first time, his carefully built plan would start to fall apart.
Alrighty. Your name is Cheyenne Paxton, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It is Thursday, October 27th at 8:52 a.m. Simpsonville Police Department. This is in reference to the homicide investigation of Caitlin Blaibelt. Have you ever seen John get violent towards Katie?
I've never seen him put his hands on. I've seen them argue.
Would Katie have gone over to his house on her own?
Within the last 3 weeks to a month, like I know.
So if he says he hasn't seen her since July.
July. Yeah, no, he's seen her. I know that John is really angry at Katie for a lot of things.
Tell me what he's mad about her for.
He feels like that it's her fault. That all, that their relationship went bad. And everything kind of went bad for a little while. He feels like it's her fault that he's losing his job. And that he got in any trouble. And he just blames it all on her,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this matters or not, but I know he has like a $150,000 life insurance policy on her too.
All right. I appreciate you coming in. I know it's not easy, especially when somebody close to you, but it's important. A lot of this information you gave us, good information that we need. So.
Cheyenne's interview gave detectives their first real motive pointing to John. But motive wasn't enough. They needed evidence.
They have a few leads, but they have no defined person of interest just yet.
As the investigation dragged on, the detectives' frustration began to grow. John had covered himself so carefully that they couldn't even get a judge to approve a DNA warrant. Without it, they had nothing that could tie him directly to Katie's final moments. It's now